please. All right. A lot has happened this past year, and I'm so pleased that so many people have come out to the reunion. I had things prepared to say, so I guess I ought to try to get them out. One of them is that I think that this is our Tin Town. Today, this is our Hurdleville. Today, this is our Bisbee. Today, this is our Douglas, our Guaymas, Hermosillo, Ores, Mexico, because we have relatives there today. I can't hardly help but think that Francisco and Rita would be highly pleased to see us doing what they would be doing on a Saturday themselves, which is being in somebody's backyard, someone's half-grown front yard, and gathering together to talk, to sing, to have a good time, and to eat. And amongst that, yes, there was probably squabbles and quarrels, but they go by the wayside, and you just enjoy your time with one another. We have been especially blessed this year by DNA because several things have come out of the DNA study. And for those of you that have taken DNA tests, I thank you. But we have one particular case that should be brought to front, and that's the case of Reina Robles and Socorro Robles. Sisters who, though born of different mothers, are born of the same father, Rafael Cordova Robles. And it has been 70 years in the long coming for them to be reunited. Two beautiful families now together. And we have DNA to thank for that. I salute you both and send you my blessings. Now, I know Reina. I hope maybe I'll get to know you a little bit. But I've slept at Reina's house. I've eaten at her table. I've been around her children. And it's a family of love. So if you had to join a family amongst all the Robles, you certainly are in the right one. And I think with your children, the reaching out they did, every single one of her children took a DNA test so that they might be able to help her mother find her family. And the way I found it was through Christine, who lives in Massachusetts, and she and I share about that much DNA, but somehow we were able to figure out the connection. Now, other wonderful stories have come from DNA, such as the Lopez's that we've discovered. We have 378 brand new relatives because of DNA. We have a teenage girl who met her father only one time in her life and thought she had no other relatives but a grandmother and grandfather on her mother's side, and now finds out that she comes from a huge Robles Luna family. We have a son who searched for his mother for over 50 years. He was given up for adoption at the age of 1 day, and we found his mother. She's a Robles, and fortunately, all things being blessed, they were happy to know one another, and there was resolve between that giving up of a child and finding that child again. Very, very special, unique moments. We've also met our first Luna relative, Ana Felix Montiel, who is Luna. She has nothing to do with our Robles DNA. So she shares only our Luna DNA, and I found that through the DNA as well. And what that does for us is give us a doorway into further research into our common ancestor, Rita Luna Robles. So I want to give a round of applause and love for these two women. And I want to thank people that participated in the DNA project with us, and I'm going to ask more of you to participate in the DNA project, including your mother, Sarah, if she will do it. The older you are, the older our DNA goes back. And we haven't got many left, really, that have that DNA. Now, I will say this, being not short-winded, I think Francisco and Rita would be overjoyed knowing that her 7th great-grandson today is being married in California. And his father, Rick Robles Jr., said that it's a joining of the McCoy house and the Robles house, so he decided to call it McRobles. That's the Robles sense of humor, of course. I think they would be thrilled to know that our young people are changing the world. Young Patrick Robles, young Jacob Acuna, young Isabel Robles. These are young people that are going to make our world better. And Rita and Francisco could only hope for the day that day would be better. Not that our children would make our future better. They would be delighted to know that their hard work as miners in those hard, difficult situations have borne doctors and lawyers and accountants and truck drivers and more miners still in Morenci who are using the new way of mining. I think they would be absolutely, positively unbelieving of what love could bring. And we are the result of that. I feel very strongly about us meeting every year if we can, if for no other reason, but to rejoin and to enjoy and to figure out what's next for us. I don't know how much longer we'll be doing it in this venue. We're all getting older. Probably need air conditioning. But that doesn't mean we haven't toughed it out. As Harvey said one year, he was a survivor of the Robles Luna reunion because there was 110 in the shade. I have probably forgotten people, but I will not forget those of us that have served in the military. We have young Christopher that's serving the Marine Corps, my son in the Coast Guard, and many of you that have people that are serving still. We have many veterans that we can be proud of that answered the call when they were asked. We also need to be mindful of those that are not with us, like Olivia, the girl that lives in Germany. We've got Robles is in Hong Kong. We've got one in Japan, Brandy. We've got one down in Italy. What's her name? I can't think of the mother's name. She's a Butner, but her boy is in Italy. So we're all around the place. We've got them everywhere, and you have to be astounded. Even when you run into a Robles, now you have to think, are they part of me? Am I part of them? Our DNA is rich. We've been blessed, and I thank God. And as I always say, God bless America, but God bless the Robles Luna family. Viva Robles! In Mexico, and we have many, there will never be a wall between us and them.
I know you're bowing your head already, but I just have something in my mind, okay? It's just that I want to express my personal appreciation to Susan for everything that she has done to get us all together. And I think that there's something deeper to what's moving her to do this. You know, in the last book in the Old Testament was the book of Malachi. And Malachi had 4 chapters. And he wrote those 4 chapters 400 years before the birth of Christ. That was the last book written in the Old Testament. 400 years went by. But in the 4th chapter, he says that it's important to bring together, to unite the hearts of the children to the hearts of the fathers. Fathers meaning the ancestors. And this is exactly what Susan is doing for genealogy. But I think it's a spirit of God pushing her, moving her to do this. And I hope that you're able to do a lot more. You said you might go back to the 1700s, right? And so that's quite an accomplishment. And so I just wanted to express my appreciation for that. Now,